Computer Money Talk here with another video. And I do a template this time because last bill I spent like, I think it might have been like $19, maybe even $30, I don't remember. And I didn't get that many views. So that's the purpose of me paying to get templates, to attract more views. But in this video I decided not to, and this is the last one I'm gonna do. So this is finance. Is it were we better off financially in the year 2000 or in the year 2025? So who really makes more money when we're comparing the 2 years? And this will be the last one. But who knows, maybe 25 years from now I'll be comparing 2025 and 2050. If there's still YouTube. Yeah, YouTube might still be around back in 25 years. But I might not even be alive in 25 years, so who knows? A lot can happen by then. Imagine how advanced technology would be by that point. But anyway, y'all came here to see a comparison. So this is how much we make now. This is the average. So I'm going by the average, not how much the rich person's making. So back in the year 2000, the youngest adults were, so millennials were just becoming adults. I think the oldest millennials were like, they were 18, they were about to be 19. Cause yeah, they were 18. So they were turning 19 in the year 2000. So they were still like, so the millennials, they were all still under 20 at this point. And the 20-year-olds were the Gen X, the 20-something-year-olds. So they were the same age Gen Z is today. That's crazy. But the average income somebody back in 2000 was making, they used to making 42 grand a year. So 42 grand. I mean, some of us still don't even make that much a day. So, I mean, that's not too bad, but this is how much we're making a day. It looks like it's a lot better, but after inflation, you're going to see the difference. How much did the average car cost back then? And this is a brand new car. $24,000. $24,900. I mean, some of us still pay this amount today. Back in 2008, my car was like around, I think it was like just under 10 grand. But I bought my car in like 2008, but it was 2005. So it wasn't really new, but still was a good price. And this was like 8 years later. So you could have got some cars a lot cheaper than what you see here. Today it's hard to get a car that's a good price. Now, how much was the average home back then? So y'all want to guess? It's actually more than I thought it was. I was thinking it would be like in the 100,000, but according to the internet, it is 200,000. That's crazy. And now it's $410,000. So it doubled. Or did it? And this is the gas price right here. So how much was gas price back in 2000? I wish gas prices this much a day. I I bet I could fill up my car in like $20, maybe less, if it was this much a day. 148. And for the first time, I'm actually able to remember something. Because 1975, I don't remember that, but in 2000 I do remember. I didn't have a car in 2000. I didn't get my license to like 2003, and that's when I started paying attention to the gas price. I do remember I used to get the middle gas, and it was like around 150, I think it was. So I kind of remember gas price being this cheap, sort of. It did get cheap during the COVID. So yes, I have seen it get that cheap before. And compared today, it's $2.98. But difference not as big as you think it is. Now cable. Obviously, I didn't care about the price of the cable back then because I wasn't paying it. My dad was. So the average price of cable was $29.99. And of course, if you had HBO or Cinemax, it costs more. I don't even think you get cable that's cheap anymore. And this is how much cable costs a day. And let me tell you something about cable. I have my cable to internet. So originally I was paying both the internet and the cable at the same time. When I first moved to this place, I was paying like under $80 for both cable and the internet at the same time. But every year it would shoot up. I think it maxed out like around 115. So not quite this much, but just to show you. I even got rid of HBO too, because I think I got rid of HBO like right after Game of Thrones in it. I think right after I saw like the last episode of Game of Thrones when I got rid of HBO. And I think it took it down like $10, so it wasn't that much. So now I had basic cable, internet, and I was still paying more than when I had HBO. The cable and the internet. In the beginning, I was paying like under $80. But then it went up every year. 115. Even after I took HBO off, it was still over $100. So that's when I decided to get rid of cable and just stick to the internet. Notice I can put the internet price up down here. Internet was starting to become popular at that point. I think in the year 2000, we had the internet at our home for about 2 years. So I'm not quite sure how the internet price works. I didn't look into it. I figured I'd just stick with cable and just ignore the internet. Now, if you want to see how much internet cost back in 2000, you can just look it up online. See how much it costs. I don't know. As of right now, I pay like around $95 a month for internet. Just for internet costs that much. So yeah. But how much did the phone cost? And back then, most of us just had landline. Not too many people had cell phones back in 2000. People did have it, but it was the minority. $50. And this is landline. I decided to go buy a landline since that's what most people had. But today in 2025, most people don't really have landline. This is mostly a cell phone bill. So $141 a month. So it does look like we're living better in 2025, but are we? Let's find out. So AI, this is not a computer AI. This is after inflation. That's what AI stands for. So after inflation, so for making this much, 42 grand back in 2000 is equivalent to making 78 grand. Yeah, I said it right. So I'm just looking. Well, that's a lot of money right here. $70,274 a year on average after inflation. So this is what it'll be like making a day. So yeah, you did. The average person actually did after inflation did make more. But how much did the average car cost back then? How much did it cost? 46 grand. So it's a little bit more than what we pay now. The average now is 48 grand, but the average back then was 46 grand. Almost 47. But what about the home? What would that be like? Paying after inflation. Is it more or is it less? We're gonna find out. So yes, home actually was less, even after inflation. It's less than today. Sorry guys, I don't make the rules. But what about gas price? After inflation, how much is that gas price really? Let's find out. $2.78. So it's only 20 cents less than what you would pay today. Cable. Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting. After inflation, this is how much you would pay with cable every month. So you know what? I got a better deal with the internet. I'm just gonna point that out. Me paying $95 a month with the internet, I got a better deal. So this is just basic cable too. So paying $29.99 back in 2000 would be like paying $93.80. That is crazy. But this is the average price of cable now. But of course, there's more channels now than there was back in 2000. If you grew up in the 90s, you noticed that as time went on, there was just more channels. Cause I swear in like 1992, I swear it was only like 36 channels. Then it seemed like over time, there was 40, 50, 60, hundreds of channels over time. So I kind of see why the price of cable went up. What about that phone bill? Okay, actually, this wasn't the price of cable. I was looking at the phone bill, so the phone bill will be $93.80. And I don't pay that much. I only pay like $55, but the average person pays $141 now. But I was looking at the wrong thing, so it's not 90. That's not how much cable would be after inflation. After inflation, cable would be like 50 cents, 20 cents. So that's the price cable would be after inflation. And that is it. And this is the last time I'm gonna do this. So you would be living better back in 2000. But here's the thing. You have more potential to make more money now than you did back in 2000 because you got more options now. Because back in 2000, let's say you lost your job. Guess what? You're not gonna have income coming in for a while, so you gotta go out there and find a job. And back then in 2000, you actually had to fill out an application, take it to like the workplace, and hope that they call you back. People weren't signing. I'm pretty sure you could file sign up. I'm pretty sure you could look for a job online and fill out an application online, but most of that was done in person back in 2000. But here's the thing in 2025. This back in 2000, if you lost your job, you had to go out and look for another job. You had to fill out applications. You got to turn them in and hope that one of those places call you back. And they didn't. Guess what? You weren't going to be able to pay rent, the mortgage anymore, and you could end up being homeless. It wasn't a laughing matter. But now in 2025, let's say that same thing happened. Let's say you lost your job. Now you got more options now. It's like, okay. Also, you still want to fill out applications. It'll probably mostly be online now in 2025. Do people still fill out paper applications at job places? Let me know. It's been a while since I searched for a job. But anyway, let's say that did happen to you, lost your job. Here's what you can do today. You could sign there's like these apps today now, like Uber Eats. You can sign for Uber Eats, DoorDash, Walmart Smart. There's some other ones out there. Amazon's. Is it what do they call it? Amazon Flash? I'm not quite sure. It's one of those. Yeah, I think it is. But anyway, those jobs are actually easier to get too. You don't have to go to show up to an interview. When I did Uber Eats, DoorDash, Walmart Smart, there was no interview. They just look at the background checks, and I was hired. I was hired with Uber Eats the fastest. Walmart Smart, it took me months for them to finally accept me. DoorDash didn't take that long. It took a little bit longer than Uber Eats, but not that long. So it does. So in some ways, it was better living in 2000, but other ways, it's better living in 2025. Because of that reason, if you lose your job, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Sign for Uber, be an Uber driver. You can do that until you finally get another 9-to-5 job. But back in 2000, there was no Uber Eats. There was no apps at all. You had to find a side hustle to do until you found until you finally got called back. You finally did that interview. You finally got hired. You got that job. So I just want to point that out, because I know some people see this, they look depressed. They're thinking, yeah, people had it easier back then. In some ways they do. You can see the amount they made. But they get fired. Not so much. You get fired back then, you had to wait until a job came around, or did like your own side hustle. But now, in 2025, if you lose your job, just sign for Uber Eats, sign for Lyft, and do that for a while until you get another 9-to-5 job. But with that being said, have a good weekend. Bye for now.